What up? Today's video, because some of y'all can't learn anything without having a YouTube or Instagram post. To learn something, I'm going to teach you something. I'm just messing with it. You could learn something if you tried. I know you can. I have faith in you. So the last couple of months I've been trying to figure out how to... I've been thinking about programming. I want to curve my direction. You know, for a minute there I was actually trying to do something with mechanics, and for a long time I really did study mechanics. You know, my car would break down every month because it was old and a piece of crap, and I got this new car now. But you know, I kind of plateaued on my ideas of mechanics. You know, the knowledge is there, but the actual follow through is still kind of iffy, you know. So I can kind of go in a different direction as far as my mind and kind of trying to figure out things, because I don't have to sit on that subject anymore. So I switched it up and I decided I wanted to do something with programming. So I went and started at the stone age of programming, and it was kind of interesting. Batch files. If you ever heard of batch files, that's what I'm going to be talking about right now, is batch files. I was actually going to have a timer so I'd know when I was going to go overboard, but I forgot to do that. So anyways, let's start it off. Batch files. Batch files. I actually found out how to make a program to teach you batch files. I figured out how to make a batch file that teaches you how to make batch files. I know, mind blown, right? You know, yeah. And it's kind of simple. It's kind of, first thing first, how to make a batch file. First thing, you can go to Notebook. You go to Notebook and it teaches you how to make a batch. It doesn't teach you how to make a batch. You go to Notebook. You punch in all the commands and stuff like that, and then you save it as you have the name. Then you save as .bat. I like batch files because it makes me feel like Batman. Batman file. Which is kind of what it is, in a way. But anyways, it's funny that way. But at the same time, then you go to the one underneath, what kind of file or whatever it is. You know, you have the options of text files and all files. You want to go to all files. So the name .bat lets the computer know I'm saving it as a batch file, and then you switch it from text file to all files to keep it from just being sent as a text file. So with that adjourned, I decided to do it through a YouTube video instead of being like, hey, download this and it'll teach you this, because batch files, nobody's going to do that. So start off first at echo off. You always do this on batch files, you know, because if you don't, you're going to end up with semicolon, flash, windows, blah, 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 after every single thing. So that's what you do. The next thing that actually makes this program work is the fact that if you type in a command and then add this afterwards, it will tell you what the command does. Okay? So that is why this whole program actually works. And I was just like, wow, I can do this, really? So but it only works in batch file mode. Like, you actually have to have a batch file. Some like shutdown. Shutdown's one that if you opened up CMD, or this, like the new school DOS, you know what I mean? Like back in the day it was called DOS, now it's called CMD, because you go to Windows, you open up this extra window and it says CMD. And some commands will work. You type in shutdown, and it'll give you a whole list of things of what, and that's what you're looking for. That's what this whole program is actually doing for you. You know what I mean? And so then next is the part 1 of the code. You want to go echo for a list type this. This is kind of, okay, wait a second. Yeah. Echo is the command that lets you know that this is just going to be text. Okay, so for a list of commands and then it's a question mark, or no, for a list of commands, type list. And then you set p variable equals what to learn first, and then you have the question mark there, and then you go to A. Now you want to make sure you go to A because the way it's set up is batch files is like time travel. You know what I mean? You can go backwards in time, you can go forwards in time, but it's all beginning of the file to end of the file kind of thing. And that's why you want to make sure you do that thing. Part two. Piss me off. Okay, part 2. You got X. You want to make sure you do this because every time it comes up, you want it in infinite loop. You know, so that's why, to me, X, I use this X as the end all be all. That's the end of the program, but it's in a constant loop. So set -p what to learn next, then A. This is why you go from part 1, skip down to this, to what you want to do, and then it'll come back up to this. Okay, part 3. Okay. If variable. Let's go back to part. I kind of messed up when I was doing this. Set p. You want to put variable right there. var equals what to learn next. You want to do that with the earlier one. I kind of messed up on that one. So then we go to the if command. If this, then it's if not this, but I only do if. If you want the two percent signs variable, and you want the two equals list, go to, and the semicolon is where it comes to life, list. Same with every other command. You can go to if variable equal shutdown, go to semicolon shutdown, and it'll go to that, and that what leads to apparently I've already thought this part off. Gosh, I should just skip ahead. Part 4. This is where it actually goes. List, echo, and it'll teach you how to do echo, list, echo, shutdown, and so on. This is where you just add to the list of things, of the commands that are in the program. You know, if you need to review, kind of think about it a little bit more, do that. Kind of understand what I'm talking about. Part 5, the actual part that actually teaches you something. Shutdown. This is where you type in shutdown, it sends you to semicolon shutdown, not semicolon. You type in shutdown, it sends you to colon shutdown, and this is what makes this program work. /question mark. So then it gives you a whole list of what this command does, and then it pauses so that you can read through all this. You clear, it clears everything on the screen, then it goes back to X, which goes back to the what I was talking about before. It goes right back up to that question and asks you, what do you want to learn next? And that's the way that works. That's the way the whole program works. So you take these commands that I've given you right here, and you just add commands. You get a list of commands off the internet, and you just put it into this program that I've written for you, and it will teach you itself how to make batch files, what commands do what in batch files. Now you can get briefs off the internet that'll teach you more, you know, or give it shorter answers. Because if you go on the internet and you not the internet, but if you go and type in these commands manually like that, and you go through this, there's big words that I'm even sitting there like, what are they talking about? You know what I mean? Like where I'm like, I got to go to the dictionary for this, you know. But at the same time, when you're doing DOS, they also have formulas, math, stuff like that. So it's really more complex than just that. So, and so on, and so on, and so on, apparently is what I wrote down there. So you have your commands, input the commands, that's what you want to do, that's what I just said. And so you have your three parts that you want to remember. You want to add the if this, go to that. You want to add it onto the list of commands that are available in the program that you've already entered in, and then you want to have the go to this with the pause, clear, then go back to the X, and that is how you make a program that teaches you how to make batch files. And let me see where I'm at right now. I'm done. Y'all have a good night.